All right, Leslie. So you have four images that we get to look at this week. Really, two new images for this class, but we can look at all of them. So the first is this image, which is just like remarkably beautiful. You have a lot of symbolism in here. So first you have the circle of the greenery around her head relating to the Virgin Mary, which is important in your religion. And then you had kind of listed out, and I don't want to say this wrong, but I think you would call the cloth like a tapa, and then called the rope that's a belt a sinnet, or I really don't want to say it wrong. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but yeah. So all these different elements that are related to your culture. So it's not as though you're throwing these things together. This is part of your culture, and then this person is helping you represent that. The lighting is really beautiful as it shows all of the detail of the cloth and all of the detail of the rope, as well as having really beautiful lighting on her and on her face and on the greenery. And then it falls right into that blackness, so that's not anything distracting in the background. The lighting on her on the front and on the back is really good. I'd probably bring a little bit more highlight if you have some that you can pull from this file on her hair, because it starts to lose some detail like right in this area, and there's so much texture and richness throughout this image. That'd be one place that I'd pull a little bit more from. But beautiful symbolic image, and then you carry that symbolism into this image as well, where this feels I don't know, more like submissive. I hate to use that word because I think there's a negative connotation with that. And this image feels much stronger. So I love that you're pairing them together and that we're seeing both sides of them, that they could work together as images. Again, really beautiful light on her. I'd say the same thing about her hair, and that's just something that you can pay attention to as you're photographing people with dark hair or dark skin. We always want to make sure we're holding on to all of the detail. So just a little bit back in here, because as the light is on each of these curls, as her hair comes down, it's really nice. This is where you had the heavy vignetting on it, and it does take away from the image, though I don't find it, when I saw it on the arm first, I realized why you had done it. And I would keep it probably towards the bottom of the image, but not all the way around. When we see how much brightness you have back here, I think that's really important to hold on to. But I think kind of letting this go into a little bit, maybe not as dramatic as you have here, would work fine. The sharpness in these images is really phenomenal, especially since we felt like you missed that last week with your image, that these are like so right on sharp. Is beautiful to see. I don't know if you're doing some like softening to her skin up here and on her cheeks, right in this area, but there's something that feels a little bit artificial about that. And then you have this image, and I guess my question for you would be, is this image something that you want to incorporate in your greater portfolio? Because right now it seems to fall off quite a bit to me, and I know you didn't intend it for this class, but is that something that you want to incorporate? Do you want to incorporate images that aren't just culturally irrelevant, but images that show these different, like more Halloween, like this, you said witch sort of portrait. And this image actually does look like the focus might be more on her profile and not so much on her eyes. So really beautiful images. And is this the same girl that you have in these images? I'm curious about that. And I know in this time we're all a little bit limited with how many people we photograph. And if this is someone that you're close with and someone that you can photograph on the regular, I'm wondering if it's worth embracing that. And normally I would say don't have a portfolio of the same person over and over again. But I think as we explore these images, they're quite different in their approach. And I think you might be able to get away with, I'm like so cautious to recommend this, but I think you might be able to get away with photographing the same individual multiple times. So if that's something that's of interest to you, let me know and we can talk more about that. Because if we have all of these images too. If we just looked at these images, let's just take this one. Those are feeling really cohesive. Even that image of you in there feels cohesive. So we can continue to talk about that. And if you have other models, you can photograph. And maybe that's not even, maybe it's just a person two people that look similar. But we can continue to talk about which approach to take on that. If those are all the same person, then maybe that's something we start to embrace, if that's something that feels safe to you as we're in this COVID time.